look at the word that keeps coming up over and over again. In verse 1, lust. Verse 2, lust, desire. And then in verse 3, we have again lust. So 4 times we have either the word lust or desire. What is it? It's covetousness. And the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. Now, no one can tell me that war is not an evil in this world, because evil means to harm someone else. Is war harmful? No matter how you look at it, somebody's getting harmed. Somebody's being killed. Somebody's being blown apart. Somebody's losing a limb. There are casualties in war. Okay, the love of money is the root of all evil. And this struggle that we see today between nations and between different factions, where there's all this bloodshed going on, it's between greedy people who are doing it for the love of money. And there is a military-industrial complex that profits from warfare. They make the bombs, they make the tanks, they make the bullets, they make the machines, they make the equipment, and they make a fortune off it, and they don't care which side wins. There are also bankers who make a huge profit on warfare by funding both sides, because countries go into debt to fight wars. It's been this way for hundreds of years. I mean, this is where the French Revolution came from. The French government went into massive debt fighting their own wars with England, also by helping finance the American Revolution. They helped us out, and it was a great victory for them, right? But it cost them a lot of money. And they were going bankrupt back home, and that's how the French Revolution even took place. They didn't have any money. And so the people rose up and took over and so forth. And a lot of them ended up dead, because sin, when it is finished, bringing forth death. And so we see that the Bible is teaching us that lust and covetousness, the desire for money and gain and wealth and for taking land, that's where the wars and fightings come from. Greed, lust, and covetousness, either on one side or on both sides. Now, I want to make it clear where I stand on this and where I think the Bible teaches that we should stand on this. I am anti-war in the sense that I believe that war is bad and it should be avoided, and it's hurting innocent people, and it should be something that we should not desire or promote. Okay, I mean, that should be obvious and clear to everyone as a Christian, that we should not think war is great. We love war, we want to fight more wars. That's not a Christian attitude. But I am not for world peace, okay? Because being for world peace is actually satanic, because of the fact that world peace will only ever be brought about by a one-world government. That's the only way to have world, unless you're gonna remove the heart from every man that covets and replace it with a heart that loves the Lord, which is not gonna happen, then you're always gonna have wars, aren't you? Why? Because war comes from the lust that war in your members. So as long as there are lusts in the heart of man, there will always be war, won't there? But there are people out there who say we're for world peace, but they're actually godless, atheistic people who don't want Jesus, they don't want God, they don't want to deal with the lust in their own heart, but what they want to do is force world peace by creating a one-world government and saying, well, how can two nations fight each other if there's only one nation? Problem solved. That's how they want to bring about world peace. And this world peace buzzword and the peace symbol and the people who promote world peace, the Bonos of this world and so forth, are wicked, ungodly people who are going to love the Antichrist. Because what's the Antichrist going to do? He says by peace he'll destroy many. So the world's going to be at peace, right? Unless you're the one of the people that's being executed. There's not going to be any war. It's just going to be beheadings. That's all. So we need to stay away from this world peace movement, this type of talk about, world peace and global village and all this stuff. We need to stay away from that. See, the real answer is that Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, will one day set up a kingdom on this earth, and there will be peace on earth for 1,000 years. But it's going to be one government, but it's going to be Jesus. And you say, well, how am I going to know if it's the fake Jesus or the real Jesus, the Antichrist or Jesus? Here's the thing, if you have to ask, it's not the real one. If you're saying, is this it? It's not. And plus, if you actually know anything about Bible prophecy, you'll know that the Antichrist comes first. And he sets up his kingdom first. That's the imposter. That's the fraud. And then, of course, after that tribulation of those days where the Antichrist is murdering and executing and there's all these natural disasters and global warfare, then comes the rapture when Jesus Christ comes in the clouds. Then God pours out his wrath on this earth. Then after that, he sets up his kingdom upon this earth where Jesus Christ will physically, literally reign on this earth for 1,000 years. Okay, the Bible says there is no peace, saith my God, to the wicked. And when the world is filled with wicked people, there will never be peace. Why? Because war is a judgment or a punishment on sinful man. See, if God were blessing us, we would have peace. Peace is a blessing. Throughout the Bible, read the Bible. When there's peace and quietness, you'll notice that when people do right in the sight of the Lord, he sends peace. In Judges, a leader comes that loves God. People do right in the sight of the Lord. Peace is the result. A godly king is on the throne. Peace. Okay, you see wicked kings, ungodly people, people who are doing wrong, there's warfare. Now, sometimes godly people face a foreign invader that's wicked, that wants to come in and fight them. And then what does God do? He gives them the victory. He sends them out to fight. So I would not consider myself a pacifist, because a pacifist is one who says, you know what, if you come into my house in the middle of the night with a gun, I'm just going to beg you to not hurt me, but I will not fight back. I will not harm anyone. That's what a pacifist is. And a pacifist thinks it's always wrong to fight and that no war is justified. Now, I'm not a pacifist because the Bible teaches self-defense, and the Bible definitely teaches over and over again people can defend themselves from a foreign invader. And the children of Israel are constantly, with the Lord's help, defending against an invader. We don't just have to roll over and die. But I would say I'm anti-war because virtually every single war that our country gets involved in is wrong.